right, you're welcome back. Before the break, we're talking about news from the week that was, and we're joined again by another guest here, Kayode Oyemekinde. Thanks for being here today. Let's move on now to Anambra State, and I'm sure we've all seen what happened there with the National Assembly seats, where the PDP representatives were told to leave. We did hear from one of the senators, Senator Stella Odua, saying that it was just a rumor and that it only affected state legislatures. So we're not even sure what the situation is now, which means they're definitely going to be appealing, or I don't know what the situation is, but that is we did hear of that judgment, and that means at least I think about 10 or 11 National Assembly members will be affected if that is the case. Supreme Court, the courts again are doing the job of INEC, isn't it?
I don't want to say that the courts they've usurped the obligations or the duties of the INEC. The fact is, the Supreme Court has given its decision, and basically what Andy Uba or the other woman, Stella Odua, is saying is even an insult to the Supreme Court as an institution. The fact is, they've given their verdict. After the Supreme Court, the next court, you go to God. That's the next place, actually. So for them to say that they've not been removed, are they trying to say the Supreme Court is trying to review their decision again, or what? So Andy Uba and Stella Odua, both senators, should just take the decision as the final decision, and they should move ahead. If possible, they should start strategizing for the next elections. But that they have not been removed, they have been removed by the Supreme Court. That's just the final thing. So in terms of INEC in terms of the Supreme Court trying to take the duties of INEC, you see, our democracy is still evolving. It's a process, and the Supreme Court ought to give decisions whereby there's a conflict between one party and the other party in electoral matters. When it gets to their own desk, they just have to give a decision. So that INEC is that they are taking INEC's duty, it's not the way it is. Actually, when our democracy evolves properly, court cases will be reduced, basically.
So what would that evolution involve? What do you mean when you say evolves? What are we still doing wrong?
Well,
because we have so many people who have still been kicked out and replaced. Most of them actually coming from internal party issues, but of course there's still some who have come from, the elections itself. You're
right. The fact is, we still need laws we need laws and technology to strengthen INEC. For example, the card reader was just introduced in the last elections, and they still need to fine-tune the issue of card readers. At a point it failed and so on. It couldn't read some people's thumbprints. They couldn't see one or two names on the database and the likes like that. These are the little things that they need to work on. And from one election to the other, it will improve. And that's why I say that it's an evolving thing. So gradually, you can't tell me where we are or where we were as at the last elections, 2015, and 1999 rather, are the same thing. There is a big difference. So that's what I'm trying to say here, that by the next elections, we should see a big improvement from the last one.
Yeah. Well, brother, the thing is, one very particular situation there is very interesting because it involves two brothers. Chris Uba is supposed to be replacing Andy Uba, and that's a tussle that's gone on for so many years, and Nigerians have found it very interesting. These are two brothers, who have continued to go at each other, and Andy Uba has had the upper hand for a while now, but it looks like Chris is now...
It's now the turn of Chris.
It's now the turn of Chris. I don't know. We don't see that very often in our politics.
Yeah, I think that is really interesting, though. I might not really be able to say the capacity or the capability of either Andy or Chris, but I think it's also important for us to understand that the issue of the Supreme Court verdict on Anambra is more of a party issue. It's more of a PDP issue. If PDP I think it was basically about the state ESCO, the original state ESCO, and the posing state ESCO. So for them, the Supreme Court said, okay, this state ESCO has been recognized. So automatically, INEC was at both both primaries. And so it depends on how PDP is able to work out the internal issue. That is why I think that's why Stella was talking about she has not been removed, because she believes that the party can still work that out. If the party feels that if the other that is the Supreme Court enabled ESCO now feels that well, those guys are there, let them remain there. Understand? So they might probably still be there, but it now depends on how PDP is going to work. But you and I know that. I sit down for our person called me Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nobody will tell me anywhere that I should give it to someone else. It's not possible. So
well,
of course, the court can. But no, for a Chris now that has been given, that the Almighty Supreme Court has given you the power to go to the Senate. I think it's going to be very, very hard for PDP to tell him to, guys, sit down, let your brother finish. I doubt that is going to, and that is one of the major issues that PDP has, internal crisis that is killing that party. It's so unfortunate for them. Okay,
let's move on now. Still sticking with the PDP, and it's many issues, and we're going to be talking about the Olisametu, the spokesperson of the PDP. Kayode, the drama has gone on for quite a while now. Most people have said Mr. President maybe didn't handle things right, or whoever his agencies are, withholding him for that long without necessarily granting him bail and all of that. Now he's been granted bail, and I don't know when the trial is going to commence, but it also involves money, which we hear he allegedly has admitted to, but he says he got it for different reasons. I mean, we've heard people testify and all of that. The witch hunting, according to PDP, do you agree with that?
Personally, I don't agree with that. The fact is, Lai Mohammed was on TV some couple of days ago, I guess yesterday, and he mentioned a particular statement. Out of everybody that the EFCC invited, he quizzed them. Nobody denied the fact that he collected a particular sum that he was being alleged about. Nobody denied it. They only said that, yes, I collected it for prayers, to buy arms, to buy this, for political reasons and the likes like that. So it is now up to them to defend the monies they collected. Whether it is for the right purpose, I don't know if they are military contractors, whereby they supply military arms, but that's another kettle of fish. The fact is the PDP, is the federal government which hunting members of the PDP? Are they trying to influence some certain things? To my own belief, it is no. Look at Olisametu. People are saying that he was being kept for so long a while. Why? It is the discretion of the prison authorities to keep any...
Is it really when you haven't been convicted? I mean, you have a right to be held at least, or at most 48 hours, and then bail granted to you. Should you have been held for that long?
No. Section 3 or thereabout of the Prison Act says that it is the discretion of the court to hold anybody, in as much as it is to their own discretion. They have the power by law. Let me tell you this. Olisametu wrote some words, I don't know, he was interrogated and he confessed one or two things on paper. He tore it and chewed it. That's an act of violence.
Allegedly.
Please.
Exactly, let's be clear.
Allegedly.
Good. And I want to believe that the EFCC will have CCTV to cover their premises.
But that still doesn't give them the right to hold him for longer than as long as they did, does it? I'm just asking. Do they have a right to hold him for that long?
They have the right in as much as the court has not given him bail. That's just the fact. When they gave him bail, he was freed temporarily until, the court will give its final decision on his matter. So the fact is, he was kept in chains to the court. And people still made a lot of hula baloo on that issue.
Of course, if you're not a convict, he's not a convict.
Yes.
So people have a right to be wondering, why would he be handcuffed? Do you only handcuff criminals? Is he convicted yet?
Section 5 of the ACJL says, and I quote, that no accused person will be in chains, will be brought to court unfettered. We have to be brought to court unfettered here. Except, the exception is 1, if the person has exhibited 1 or 2 acts of violence. 2, for his own safety, he may want to hang himself. Look at this man, Obuchi or so, the man that this Madala bomb, not Madala, the Yanya Karu or something, that access, the bombing, you know, that man that traveled to Sudan that escaped. He tried to hang himself in court through the chains, wanted to jump. So, 3, the lives of the prison officials. What about if he drag the gun, maybe a pistol or a rifle from them and shoot them or himself? So they have to put him in chains to restrict him. These are exceptions that the law itself has even provided. Go and check the, go and check the Police Act, the Prisons Act, and go and check the ACGL, Section 5.
It is